The Meg Show continues. Carney to Tyrell.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Meg Show. We are now on episode 13, and we're going to be talking about the first round game outcomes and the second round game outcomes that we just experienced this past weekend on Friday and Sunday. Lots of goals. Wouldn't say there was really any upsets. However, there were some really, really close games that we get to talk about. So, running through Friday, we'll start off with what was a heartbreaker for Stanford. Denver played Stanford, and the final score was 13-12. But if you watch the game, oh wait, there's also that they had a little duck on the field. That was kind of
Michigan.
Cute. No, it wasn't.
No, that was Denver.
It was Denver.
Because it was Sloan, yeah.
So that was funny.
Oh, yeah, that was funny.
But a very close game, as we suspected. Came down to the end. There was a couple seconds left, and the defender made a very gamesman-like play with a small foul when the clock kept running and time ran out. So Denver comes out with the win there. Good for them. They moved on. Loyola Duke, this was a very close game up until the fourth quarter, which I was a little bit shocked with. But, you know, in playoffs, it's win or go home. So everyone's bringing their best game that they can bring, leaving it all out there on the field. So Duke gave them a good fight up until that fourth quarter. It was very, very close. They were tied at one point, either going into the second or going into the third. And no, it was going into the fourth. They were tied, sorry. And Loyola pulled away, ended up winning 16-11. They moved on. Penn played Richmond. Penn won 16-5, dominated the whole game. Virginia played LIU, won 21-6, dominated the whole game. Florida UNC, Florida breezed past UNC, dominating the whole game. They won 17-8. This game I was a fan of. Penn State played JMU. Personally thought Penn State was going to be able to pull the win out here just with how they've been playing all season. JMU ends up winning 14-13. That was a good game to watch. If you haven't, maybe go check it out. Maryland and Robert Morris, 17-1. Maryland dominated. Same story goes with Stony Brook Niagara, 19-7 Stony Brook. And then a little bit of a closer game here. Hopkins played Fairfield, 11-5. Still a decent win for Hopkins, but closer than the others. Binghamton played Yale. Yale won 17-4. Notre Dame played Coastal Carolina. Notre Dame won, 24-6. Michigan played Mercer. Michigan wins 17-6. And then Princeton, Drexel. Princeton pulled out that win 14-9. That was a good game to watch as well. Drexel's a really tough team. Gave Princeton a really good fight, so that was fun to watch as well. And overall there, I think that's kind of the stories we thought were going to play out, if you would agree, Meg.
Yeah, I would say the only one is Florida UNC. I didn't think Florida would beat them that bad. I did have a feeling they were going to win, but I don't know. UNC is, what's the word I'm looking for? They are experienced when it comes to postseason. Jenny Levy knows how to win, so I would have thought they'd have more of a fight in them, but crazy to see them lose so early in the tournament. Also thought Penn State would come out with a win. Obviously, they only lost by 1, so unfortunate ending for them, but would have liked to see Penn State win. Other than that, I'd say everything went pretty much as scheduled.
Yeah, and for these first-time teams that made it into the tournament, hopefully we see their names again. And, you know, getting this tournament experience, it's not easy to get into the tournament, and it's even harder to win in the tournament. So to have them come in and have some good games like that is really exciting. And hopefully we get to see these names back here in 2025.
Yeah, it was also sad for Stanford.
Yeah, that was sad.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, that brings us to the second round games that just happened this past weekend. First one was Northwestern Denver. Northwestern had no issues with Denver, 17-4. Izzy Skane also became the NCAA all-time leading scorer. She passed Charlotte North, and probably with 3 more games, I'd say, for them, she's really going to crush that record. So good for her. Next game was Loyola Penn, 12-9. Penn won. Sad to see Loyola's season come to an end, as it is for everyone, but they had a good fight this year, and Penn is climbing the ladder each year. Next game was Virginia, Florida. Once again, Florida had no issue, just rolled right over them. They are playing their best lacrosse right now, which is so awesome. Florida did win 13-8. Sad to see UVA's season come to an end, especially with the first-time head coach. But they did amazing. I think they really turned the program around. And so really bright futures with the coaches, the returning players for the 2025 season. But that Florida team is scary. They are fast, they're strong. Their racerback jerseys are sweet and they look tan and strong, and they're on a roll right now, so I would watch out for them. Next we had JMU Maryland, 17-7. Maryland won. Pretty easy game for them. I wish Penn State won against JMU. I would love to see Penn State Maryland play, but big game for Corey Edmondson and Ellie Clevenger. So great for Maryland to keep on going, getting back, going to try and get back to the Final Four like they used to always be in previous years. And then we had Syracuse, Stony Brook, and Syracuse won. Thank God. I love seeing them beat Stony Brook. Cuse won 15-10. Emma Tyrell had 5 goals, 1 assist. Great day for your sister, Meg. Kate Mash, new program single game record with 20 draw controls. Insane. She's playing her best lacrosse I've ever seen right now. She is automatic out there. She's winning every draw. Not only is she winning it, but she's winning it cleanly to herself.
Very difficult to do. It's a very intricate skill to have. It's
very impressive. I love watching her right now. She is just automatic out there. She's winning every draw so clean, so easily. And it's just amazing. I'm so happy for her. And then we had Hopkins Yale, 9-7 Yale. This was a battle of a game. I think it could have gone either way. Jenna, don't know how to say her last name, scored 4 goals. Sky scored 3 goals. Fallon Vaughn scored 2 goals. Hopkins Charlotte Smith scored 2 goals, and MK, Maeve, Ava Campbell, and Jordan all scored 1. A lot of different goal scorers in second round games, so that's awesome to see. I think as that team continues to grow and become more, just build that chemistry with each other, you're going to see a lot of success with Hopkins, and as Tim McCormick gets more and more experience out there. So it's great to see them, but Yale did come out with a win. And then we had Notre Dame, Michigan. That was insane game. Jill Smith's goal was sick. Oh my God, that was so good. I'm so happy for Michigan. I do feel bad for Notre Dame and those girls over there that they're officially done, but good for Michigan. First time ever making it to the quarterfinals. So they won at the last minute, 15-14. Heartbreaker for Notre Dame, like I said. They're having a great season, and Jill Smith just had to bury it on them with literally 1 second left.
It was zero time. It was
such
absolute
a good
crunch
goal.
time. And
clean goal, no iffy calls or anything, fair, pretty, I don't know. That just was so good.
Crazy ending to an exciting playoff game, definitely.
And then lastly, we had BC Drexel, 21-16. Belle Smith had 5 goals, 4 ground balls, and draw controls, and 2 caused turnovers. So unreal day for her. She saw that Tewaaraton top or 5 finalists come out, and she said, "Screw that," and she just played one of the best games of her career. So great day for her. NBC will move on past Drexel.
Yeah, I think these second round games were very exciting. Northwestern, Denver, that's another matchup that they had from the Final Four last year. So, Northwestern was coming out with a good game plan down Denver. Loyola Penn, that game was kind of crazy. Anna Brandt, who's been leading Penn all season, really stepped up for Penn that day. And for Loyola, they were also having a fantastic season. Sad to see them exit, but it's just unfortunate because, you win or you go home, and there's all these good teams and all these very talented players
who
sad. Just don't get there. But that's just sports in general, which you love and you hate for it. So But then Virginia, Florida, that game I was really excited to watch. If Florida is a team I would want to face right now. And with Virginia, like Meg said, they've got a lot of players returning that are going to have the seniority, have this experience, and having experienced players out there is so, so helpful, especially when you kind of can start the season on the right foot like that. With JMU Maryland, wasn't surprised with Maryland's score here. I'm pretty sure their score was similar earlier in the season as well. But with Meg, I would have loved to see a Penn State Maryland matchup. Q Stony Brook, obviously happy for the Q's girls, for the Stony Brook girls. They had a really, really good season in their conference. They won their conference, so they do get to leave with a little bit of hardware there. Hopkins, Yale moves on. They get to face Cuse, which we'll talk about in a little bit. And with Hopkins, as Meg said, they will continue to build with all these goal scorers that they had. They know how to work as an offense, and that can only grow from there. Notre Dame, Michigan, sad for the Notre Dame girls. I really am, but really happy for Michigan. So huge for their program. Excited to see what they do in their next game. And then the BC Drexel game is a shootout, basically. Very, very high scoring, having 37 goals in one game. But yeah, so far these games have really held up to the hype, I would say.
Yeah. Michigan Notre Dame was just insane. That goal at the last second. Wow.
Yeah, like I think we knew it was going to be a close game.
Mm-hmm. It was just
But
who
the
was going to get the
last
last
second,
goal.
yeah, exactly. Those are always fun games. But honestly, now not being a player, watching is 10 times more stressful. Like
For sure.
sitting in the stands, I'm like, my heart's beating faster than it ever did when I played. I don't know what that is. But yeah, just some key notes after the first 2 rounds that we got to see. UNC out early. And is this for the first time ever? First time in a long time? I'm pretty sure it's the first time ever that they're
They
exiting
just were
before the
on the
Final
struggle
Four.
bus this year.
I know, and it's unfortunate too when you get hit with the injury bug.
Yeah.
So they do have players returning next year. That'll be exciting to watch. With Notre Dame, we've talked about this a little bit throughout the season, that Notre Dame kind of historically has had very good players. They've put really good teams together. And honestly, if you think back to their 2020 COVID season, I'm just thinking of this, they had a really, really dangerous team that I think could have made a legitimate run for a national championship. But just kind of in the scope of things, they have all these talented players, but there's just like a hump that they just haven't been able to get over yet. And I think, that kind of shined a little bit here.
That
Showed, whichever word that is. I think it was just there. I don't know. But I can't think of it right now. My brain's not working. For UVA, they will be back and they will be even better. But not saying they weren't good now, but we'll be back and better is a way to put it. I'm definitely excited to see what Penn State does in 2025. I think they've got a good thing going there, even though they're graduating 2 of their top performers. That'll be good to watch. And then also looking forward to Drexel. I feel like they've been on the up and up the past few seasons, and they're really kind of getting into the groove of things. So those are just some things that, after watching the first 2 rounds, kind of just stuck out a little bit.
Yeah, I agree. It makes it exciting to see what happens next season and see how all these teams see who does what with the transfer portal, who acquires who loses who. But yeah, makes it exciting to look forward to next season. Now we have the Elite Eight. Thursday, we have games all day. They are staggered, finally, which is great. But the first game starts at 12. So if you're at work, you're running errands, or you're just at home, lucky you. Whatever it is, turn the games on and let's watch, okay? Florida and Maryland starts at 12. Then we have Yale at Syracuse at 2:30. Michigan at BC at 5. Penn at Northwestern 7:30 p.m. I'm most excited for Florida, Maryland. Florida's scary right now. I think That was bad. This almost just came crashing down.
Oh,
That would have been really bad.
good. That
Imagine that just like shattered.
would it have landed on your head?
No,
Oh, good. Okay.
unfortunately.
That would have been
Just kidding.
crazy to see on camera.
Anyways, Florida and Maryland, I'm most excited to watch that. Then we have Yale at Syracuse. I want to say confidently that Syracuse won't have an issue, but good for Yale if they put up a fight. Michigan at BC. I think BC will handle them just fine. I believe I saw that they've never played each other before.
That makes sense.
It does make sense. Has Yale ever played Syracuse?
Maybe probably
I feel like
probably not.
No, I don't know. Then we have Penn at Northwestern, and I don't think Northwestern will have any issue with that. I kind of think some of these games are easier than, like Syracuse at Yale seems like an easier matchup than Syracuse Stony Brook, but they also had no issue with Stony Brook, so I don't know.
Yale played
Meg, what are
Syracuse
your-
in 2003.
So like basically never.
In 2003, Yale won 12-7
Oh,
on May 8th, 2003. Dun, dun,
Meg,
dun.
who do you think's gonna win?
I think so. We got Florida at Maryland at 12. I want to say this is going to be a very, very. If there's a game of the week to watch, I think it's Florida at Maryland. Florida's playing really well right now. Maryland's putting up like minimum 17 goals a game currently. So to see those two high scoring offenses kind of match up, I'm really excited for. But I do think so. I think that Florida's going to pull out the win, just with how hot they're playing right now. But don't be surprised if Maryland pulls out a win here. They're that 12 o'clock game. Yell at Syracuse. I think Cuse is going to win. Michigan at BC. I think BC is going to win, but I would not be surprised if Michigan pulled something out and won. And then Penn at Northwestern. I think Northwestern is going to win.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with the same. I think Florida, Cuse, BC, Northwestern. But maybe to be different, I'll go Maryland. I feel like Maryland, Cuse, BC, Northwestern is like throwback Final Four.
That is so throwback Final Four.
I guess you're missing UNC, but seeing Maryland back in the Final Four will feel more normal, I guess.
Yeah, the amount of times I've watched Maryland UNC in like a playoff or national championship game is ridiculous. It happened so frequently when we were younger.
Yeah.
Oh, and even what I saw this clip the other day. Remember when you couldn't move, like on the field?
Yeah, it was
And
freestyle.
I don't know who I was talking to somebody about it. I was like, remember like when you had to drop your stick down on the field and like where the ball was, and then like you go off the field, and then you come back on, and you have to stand there, and you would try to move a couple feet by like stretching a little bit to try to get like away from somebody or closer to the ball. It's just so crazy. Like, this is so off topic, but just like thinking of how the sport has changed since
So
then.
much.
Like,
wait, another thing Steven and I were talking about this weekend, did there used to be, maybe not when we were, I don't know, maybe, did there used to be like any number could be on the circle? Or was it always 2?
yes.
Like, did it used to be 3 or 4 or just anyone? It wasn't anyone. That, I think, is a little dramatic.
I want to say maybe that's such a good point. I want to say maybe 3, but I also for some reason, oh no, I think it was 3.
3.
But everyone could go over when the ball went in the
you
air.
didn't have to hold
You
behind
didn't
their
have to hold
straight
until
line.
possession.
Yeah.
Which was absolutely insane.
Yeah.
It was a
free for all. Everyone was just running with their heads cut
people
off.
were flying, sticks were flying, your fingers are getting hacked off. Oh,
yeah, I couldn't remember if it was 3 or 4.
I feel like 3 makes sense.
I agree.
But I don't even know. Wow, that's such a throwback comment. Oh my god.
If anyone remembers, please enlighten us because my brain is toast. But yeah, to sort of wrap this all up, it's tournament time. It's like Meg said, it's do or die. It's win or go home. And it's win or hang up your cleats for some people, and they're done. Their season's over. Their career's over. If they're not playing pro, they're donezo. They're done.
Yeah, it's the sad reality of sports,
Mhm.
unfortunately.
It's terrible, actually, I'll tell you that from firsthand experience.
Yes, but you also can look back and say, "Wow, that was kind of fun, and I enjoyed most of it, except the losing part."
Yeah. But no, I'm so excited for Thursday. That'll be fun to watch. Little midday lacrosse, finish with a nightcap. Northwestern
And
Penn.
they kept Northwestern. Yeah.
Watch Northwestern just roll Penn. All right, let's get into some questions. Quick episode today. You know, teams
Questions.
are falling out, games are getting smaller and smaller, so these are gonna get quicker. But questions. First one. Someone asked Meg recently. Whoa. Meg
Drop.
recently said. Sorry, I don't know how to read either.
There's like
There's
not
just
even a
there's
comment
no
anywhere. A
comma or
comma.
anything. Okay. Meg, now I can't even like read it right. Meg recently said that Katie Goodale is the scariest defender she's ever played against in her life. What are some of the things the best defenders do to disrupt or scare attacking players? Any other defenders you played against who still give you nightmares? If oh, ends at nightmares. I clearly don't know how to read.
Let's go with the first question first so we can break this down. What are some of the things the best defenders do to disrupt or scare attacking players? I would say disrupt is the better word. Um, but I guess the biggest thing is just kind of getting in the way. Especially, I'd say one of the things that very good defenders do is if you are cutting, or like let's say your job on offense, if a defense is running a zone, is to be in the middle and catch or get looks from the outsides. I'd say just getting in the way, basically adding that pressure, like making sure the attacker or the midi like knows you're there. That presence can sometimes be frustrating, or can just kind of get in the way. But I think Meg played on the inside, so she probably has like a little bit more.
Yeah. Getting jacked up on the inside, or like, I guess if they're playing man, like what makes your own defender scary, or was it disrupt? It's like when they're in your hands and you can't get space, or like even a face guard will disrupt you. Like if they don't start in it from the beginning of the game, then they jump into it. It's like, okay, now we got to fully adjust and I got to play differently. But yeah, I think just getting in your hands, if you're cutting, giving you a little like bump, like kind of like hitting you in the ribs while you're cutting,
Yeah,
and you
it's
don't
like
even have
a
the ball. It's like, oh, this is gonna be so annoying. Like, why do we have to do this? I don't even have the ball. I'm probably not even looking or asking for the ball. I'm just getting through. I'm just moving the ball, and I just gotta get jacked up for no reason. Or when they start checking your hands and poking your hands, that shit's so annoying.
yeah, poke checks are kind of the worst.
Yeah, this isn't boys lacrosse. We're not poke checking.
Yeah, but I agree with Meg. Definitely getting in the hands, making sure your presence is known. And I think that's just something good defenders do. And also, the best defenders, their body positioning and how they control their body, and how they can react to you too. Like the footwork, the best defenders have unmatched footwork. And like you can see, like you can visibly see the difference between a really good defender and someone who maybe is not the best defender. You can see it just like in their hips, how they're standing, where they're looking, how their feet are moving as you're going. And one thing that Katie did very well was she could read your footwork. Um, so if you're going and you're going to stutter step, you want to go right to left or whatever, she's going to read that. She'll follow that. So she was definitely a defender that you had to do a double move on.
Yeah, multiple. Also, like you were saying earlier, against a zone, when you're in the middle and that ball's coming into you and you just know every defender is about to collapse on you and just jab you in your ribs, it's scary. Against Stony Brook, when they played that zone, me and your sister were in the middle the whole game and we wore rib pads because we were about to get our shit rocked in there. So yeah, that's definitely terrifying, knowing as you're catching that ball in the middle of the 8 that you're about to get
Especially if the
hit.
pass isn't like a strong pass.
Yeah,
If
if
it's
it's
like
like
a lofty
high or
pass,
something and you gotta like go up for it and you just know you're about to
you
get
know, you know you're reaching and you're like, wow, I can already feel it in my ribs. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, but no, like the lofty passes into the middle, If you play offense and you throw the ball to somebody in the middle, give them a good pass.
Yeah.
Do not set them up for failure. Even if they get an 8-meter, which that's great. But it hurts.
Hurts. It's not
It
fun.
hurts. Not even to be lame about it, but it does hurt.
All right, next question. If Syracuse didn't exist, then where would you have gone or think it could have been a good experience? Well, I would have loved to gone to Georgetown.
Oh my God.
Every episode I'm going to talk about Georgetown.
Yeah.
I love Georgetown. I love the campus. I got recruited by them. I found any sort of reason or excuse to go visit the campus once again. They just weren't a top team. They weren't competing for a national championship ever, and that's what I wanted. I wanted to win a national championship, and I wanted to compete for one. So I ended up not going there. But if they were good at lacrosse, that would have been a no-brainer. But yeah, mine came down to Syracuse or UNC. And I'm glad I went with I'm glad I went with Syracuse.
Hold on.
My brain's not working today.
And I'm so glad I went to UNC.
I'm so glad I went to
almost
UNC.
just came out of your mouth. 5 years and so I guess if Syracuse didn't exist, my second option was UVA. So I would have gone there, I guess. But I think it'd be really cool to maybe go out west. Like Meg said, I knew I wanted to compete for a national championship or at a super high level. So I knew I kind of wanted to end up at a school like Syracuse, and I was really fortunate to have the opportunity for it. But I also have been on the East Coast my entire life, so maybe it'd be cool to have a different experience out west at like Colorado and Boulder. That'd probably be a cool place to go. Or even Denver now. Like
Denver.
I mean, yeah, Denver, their facilities, beautiful. I love their field. The mountains on it, I think, are so cool.
Have you been
To Denver or to the university?
Denver? Like to the University of Denver.
No.
It's not that nice. But anyways,
They have a cool field though.
I actually, now that I've like seen Boston like as an adult and actually like seen the city itself, not just the campus, even the campus, I would have loved to go to BC. I feel really weird saying that. I don't think I should say it like that. I think BC would have been a cool place to go because I like Boston a lot. I would love to live in Boston, but I also would have loved to go to like somewhere in California.
California would be
Stanford
nice.
would be sick.
Yeah, Boston's a cool area. Their
Yeah,
university
and
just has a
I
lot of
think I'm-
stairs.
I think I'm
I'm
meant to
not
live in
kidding. There's a
Boston.
lot. But yeah. It's
Speaking
tough to
of-
always say. Sorry, it's tough to always say like if you didn't go here, where would you go? Because like I can't picture being anywhere else now.
Yeah.
But 5-6 years ago, I probably could have pictured somewhere else. And I loved Hopkins too. When Coach Tucker was there.
Janine and Steele and I'm blanking.
Tara. Yeah, she's at Jacksonville now. Singleton.
Yeah. I love them. That coaching staff they were so nice and so good. Yeah, Hopkins. I liked that too. And I wasn't finding a degree for me there though. That was not in my field of study. But if I didn't play lacrosse and was just a regular old student, just normal kid, I would have probably gone to like I would have wanted to go to UT.
Mm-hmm.
Down south. What about you?
If I didn't play lacrosse?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I have no idea. I don't know what I would have done, to be completely honest with you.
Okay.
I have no
that
idea.
gets us into our next question. If you could live anywhere, where would you live?
Charleston.
Never been, but Charleston.
Never been, but trying to go to Charleston so bad.
I want to go to Charleston so bad. Can someone please pay for us to go to Charleston?
Please.
We'll do a camp. I'll do 5 days worth. Just someone pay for us to come fly there and we'll coach lacrosse.
Yeah, like I'm on a Charleston TikTok right now of like things to do when you visit Charleston, and all of it just looks great.
I could make a whole itinerary right now, but I don't got a flight there.
But yeah, definitely would be cool to live there, I think. I don't know. I would say Charleston probably.
Out of places I've actually been and seen, I'd say like San Diego, like Southern California, or Boston. Those are the places I'm meant to live.
Places I've been. I can see you in Boston though. I don't see you as a California person, which isn't, it's just, I don't know.
That's offensive.
Is it? Do you want to be a California person? I don't know.
Well, like, I want to be blonde and live on the beach and tan and nice weather. I think I would just fit in.
California girl. Okay, sorry.
Where
I
would
didn't
you
know that
live?
was your
Long
dream.
Island?
Where would I live?
At home?
I love Long Island. Don't get me wrong. This place is awesome. But maybe I thought Dallas was cool when I visited. I liked it down there. It just gets too hot for me.
Yeah.
I
would say Dallas too, but I feel like my parents being there, like I don't need to live there. I can just go visit. But don't get me wrong, that is one of my favorite places.
Yeah, it was cool. I think Colorado's cool because you get all the seasons.
Mm-hmm.
I also think I need to end up somewhere where there's all the seasons. I love the winter and I love the summer. So I need the range.
Fair. All right, let's switch notes here. What mental tool do you use under pressure?
Do you want me to go first?
I can go, or you can go. I don't care. Do you know your answer?
Yeah.
Okay, go.
Whenever I feel pressure, I really dig into compartmentalization. I like to think about the kind of not like importance of things, but I just like to look at the bigger picture when it comes to certain things. So if I'm really stressed out about, school and I have practice later, when I get to practice, I compartmentalize like, okay, this was my day here. I need to leave that here in this part of my brain. I need to bring out another piece to focus over here. And then even in games, if like there's a time when I'm not shooting well, I'm not playing well, like you put that away in your brain and you pull forward on the good things kind of. So I do that a lot when it comes to like stressful situations. And then just I'm a big visualizer as well. I like to picture good things happening and putting that out there. Or I picture how I think things are going to go, how I want things to go. So in a game, I'm picturing if I'm shooting, I'm hitting this top left corner or this bottom right corner. And then just picturing like the defenders, the teammates out there, the venue, the arena we're in. And that helps part of my process.
That's cool. I think compartmentalizing would be very hard. I've never thought to do that or tried to do it. My go-to, and I literally do it just in my everyday life, like I'm constantly doing it, is visualizing. Like I feel like I'm really good at it. I see it in third person, like bird's eye view almost, not like firsthand, or first person.
Mm-hmm.
And
she means by that, like she doesn't see it through her eyes. She sees it from like a camera recording her, basically.
Yeah, I see it like from over top or from whatever angle, but like I see me doing it. But I love visualizing. It's just like so natural for me. I can literally just do it right now and I can see something. But I do a lot of it of like when I before games would visualize myself dodging or doing a dodge, or not so much like the stadium and the arena like you were saying, or like shooting. It's more so like movements and like segments maybe. I don't know, but I feel like I'm very good at it. I can do it very easily and like all the time. So that's usually what I do.
Yeah, visualizing, I think if you don't do it as an athlete or even like in everyday life, like if I'm going to dinner, I'm like, oh, I wonder what I'm going to eat, and I try to see it.
Okay,
I'm not kidding.
Don't do that.
I'm not kidding. Like if it doesn't look good, I won't get it. But it's just a really
It's a good skill to have.
It's a really good skill to have and develop, especially more so as an athlete, seeing what you're doing on the field, either through your eyes or from the third person perspective. Either way, whatever you see, whatever works for you, just go with it, and it'll come naturally after that. But compartmentalizing definitely does take a little bit more effort, I would say, or a little bit more practice with it is more the word. But I find it really helpful.
All right. Last question. We're going to do this one differently. Okay, so we're going to ask a question, and then you're going to say what you think my answer is, and I'm going to say what I think your answer is, okay? And then after, we'll say either right or wrong in, like, what we think.
Okay.
Got it?
Mm-hmm.
Question is, what is your favorite dodge? So you'll go, but you'll say
So I'm
what...
saying what your favorite dodge is?
Yeah.
Okay, I know what your favorite dodge is. I just don't know what to call it. It's like an approach to like a... So like if it's in your right hand, you go to your right, but then you turn back this way.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
I know the one you're talking about. I would say it's like a split to a roll dodge. Like I'm going right to left, but then I'm gonna plant and roll back to my right. No, is that not it?
I guess that's it. And like sometimes you either run into it or you fade away with the shot.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say that's my favorite. But I do like that
You
one.
do it a lot. You used to do that all the time.
My favorite and go-to is just split dodge down the alley.
Oh, duh. Okay. You're right.
But I'd say that's my second or like tied. Like I know what you're talking about. Or
Yeah.
if I get a defender that follows me behind, then I want to go like split right to left, roll to my right, and then go back.
Yeah, you loved the right to left split. That was like ace for you every
Yeah.
time.
Yours, I would say, is getting up a few hashes, like looking like you're gonna feed, and then pulling under.
Oh yeah. Like I think hands
Like that's
down.
automatic.
I think
And
hands
it's
down
a
that
goal
was my
every
favorite
time.
dodge.
I don't know how you do it.
Yeah, it was kind of just it just worked. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that one's probably my favorite. I can't really think of another dodge that I would do, really. Or just like a topside like hesitation dodge. I like those.
Yeah, you like to go over top, just the
Just a little whoop, and then go. Yeah.
cool.
Okay.
Nice. Awesome.
I'm glad we
Well,
know each other.
cool. Good thing we are never doing that ever again. But I'm gonna go practice. Okay.
Okay.
I'll send you a video of me doing it.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Well, that's a wrap.
Dun dun dun. Okie dokie. Thank you guys for tuning in to episode 13. Like Meg mentioned earlier, these episodes, as the game's presence gets less and less, these will be a little bit shorter. But we got a little insight into what we're looking forward to, our picks for next week, and just a little information about us. It's been a while since we checked in.
Yeah. Give us some questions if you got any.
Yeah, we love the questions. Let us know your thoughts too, especially as we head into the Elite Eight and the Final Four and then National Championship. This is crunch time, people. So please share your thoughts, what you think. Who do you think is going to be in the Final Four? And we'll talk about it next week on episode 14 as we look ahead to see who is heading to the Final Four in Cary, North Carolina. Thank you guys for tuning in.
And maybe we will have a guest next week of someone that will be in the Final Four. So stay tuned.
And a happy belated Mother's Day to all the mothers out there.
They're going to say happy belated birthday to me, but Mother's Day works too. I guess it's been a while since my birthday.
And happy belated birthday to my favorite co-host, Meg.
Your only co-host.
Yeah.
That's a cop-out. All right. Bye, guys. See you next week.
Bye, guys.